pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Enjoying your summer. Approve bills and, okay, we got called order pledge allegiance. Number 3, approve bills and minutes.
So,
Jonathan, do you want to elaborate on the bills that we're talking about, or does everybody have that in front of them?
Yes, we can go through them one at a time,
Yes, please.
okay? Tim, do you wanna walk us
Sure.
through these?
So, we have, an invoice from, Atlantic Broom. This was for $249.90. This was for, signposts for the reconfiguration of the, traffic pattern around the school building.
Oh, okay.
There is.
the green one. I know, but there was one with a paper on it.
I don't know if you wanna take these one at a time, or just one vote, to.
We'll go through them one at a time, and we'll vote.
oh, I'm
Can we
sorry, I
do
didn't have a
after
plan.
you?
Yeah, why don't we go through them descriptively one at a time, then we'll maybe vote them all at the same, unless we have something that sticks out.
Okay, first Southwest, in your packet, well, there was an invoice that was forwarded to us for, this had to, do with the financing costs for the, initial financing, package for the project. And with, First Southwest, we reviewed it, signed it, and assigned the proper propane coating, so that that can be submitted correctly to the MSBA for reimbursement. It's in the amount of $5,237.55. The next invoice is for Lock and Lord, attorneys and counselors. Again, this is also, just, financing bond costs, attorney fees. It's $4,800. And again, we've reviewed it and applied the correct propane code information, for processing with the MSBA. The next invoice that you have in there, is, for Colliers. It's in the amount of $18,674. The propane coating is listed, within the body of the invoice, so it'll make that, easy to enter into the system.
So there's two of them.
Yeah, the first one,
Oh, I see, it just was missing that number.
oh, yeah, okay, so that's the same invoice. It looks like there's two, but it was just that the, within the body of the invoice to show what was being billed that month.
I have to, that's gonna be confusing.
Yeah, the one with a little gray shading with nothing there, it should be just kind of discarded. It's the same invoice.
Okay, get rid of that one. Yep.
There's an invoice from, SMMA, dated June 29th, in the amount of $56,960. And again, we reviewed that and provided correct, propane coating, for that. The Atlantic Room invoice, I already, talked about, but again, this is for the signposts for the one-way traffic pattern. And that looks like the balance of the invoices that, are included in your packet.
So I make a motion to approve the bill for $249.90 for Atlantic Broom, the bill for $5,237.55 for First Southwest, the bill for $4,800 for Lock and Lord, the bill for Colliers International for $18,674, and the bill to SMMA for $56,960. Second.
There's also a bill from the Worcester Telegram.
What?
We have a bill for the Worcester Telegram, $84 at the very end.
I don't see that.
Well, we did have to place I hadn't seen these, but there's we did have to place ads in the paper.
Right, I figured, yeah.
There it
And the
is.
bill for $84 to the Telegram and Gazette.
Okay, motion been made to,
Second.
okay, motion been made and seconded, any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
So this one,
All right,
Just to go back on those invoices, it does look like one was for, during the pre-qualification process to advertise, and we did have to go back out, again for the elevator category because,
you only had one bid first time.
we only, yeah, exactly.
All right. Is there originals that I need to sign on this?
not yet, can we just wait until I'm
Yeah.
filling some of them out? Sorry,
Or those, you have the originals there?
I have what will need to go, yes.
Okay. Okay. OPM update. Oh, actually, we get the minutes first.
Yeah.
Few minutes?
Move we accept the minutes of June 20th, 2017, as presented.
Motion is made and seconded to accept the minutes of June 20th, 2017. And seconded. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, OPM update.
Okay, as part of this main topic of the contractor pre-qualification, we're gonna cover the budget status as well and the schedule overview. There's a lot of parts moving, all in very positive directions, and we've been talking about them for the last series of meetings. The first that I'll get into before Tim takes over the contractor pre-qual side has to do with the cost estimates. So as you recall, the project was delayed essentially a year, and we also had the redesign efforts, as Joel and Jen reviewed with us with the energy code implications, particularly on the electrical side, that we needed to incorporate into the design. So with those thoughts, we wanted to make sure we were tracking on budget exactly where we stood. We had, last year, you may recall, in August, we went to two different construction cost estimating firms, one that was hired by us on behalf of the building committee, and one that was hired by SMMA, and we brought those teams together, two very reliable, good firms, PM&C and AM Fogarty. We went back to our cost estimator, PM&C, we took them the revised documents and information and asked them to update their cost estimate. What I passed out to you is a simple summary of the detail that they provided us. Essentially, our budget, as you can see, for hard construction costs is $36,522,000. Soft costs is $8.5 million with a contingency of $2.5 million. Our total project budget is $47.5 million. When we estimated it last year in August, we were in total $46,808,000. So we were $754,000 under budget. A series of ad alternates was identified so that if the bids remained on target, you would have the opportunity to elect to go forward with upgrades to the building that you really want and desired, but wanted to make sure you had appropriate safety valve in there. We received fantastic news from PM&C that we remain the inflationary impact of time and the design changes that were required by code did not have a significant cost implication to the project. You can see the grand total today is $47,018,000. So it was about a $200,000 impact overall, and leaves us $545,000 under budget. They saw, and I do want to have a conversation about this, so they saw a very, very low degree of inflationary impact. They had different trades moving in different directions. Some trades went up, some trades went down. That's what the market's doing, but still a lot of aggressiveness out there in the marketplace, and you'll hear that again as we talk about the rest of the pre-qual process with the amount of interest in the project. We did go and had a conversation with AM Fogarty, the SMMA team cost estimator, and someone that we also trust quite a bit, to get their, I'd say, different perspective on it without giving them the documents. We said, give us a more conservative impact. What's kind of our worst case in your opinion? And he said that the inflation at the upside could be 3%, over this last year, and that would have an impact as we ran the numbers using that impact. We believe that if we took kind of a worst-case scenario, and this is, again, just a bit of a hypothetical, we didn't actually get the documents, but that we would be $45,000 under budget. So right about at the budget mark, without that $500,000 cushion. So you remember, as we've had the conversation, the idea is that we're gonna get 5 bids at bid day if things go well. The estimators are looking at the middle number. They're not looking at the low number, they're not looking at the high number, they're looking at the average or the mean. And they're suggesting that we're on target. We're where we wanna be at this point in time. So really, we just need to get out on the street and see what the market really is. Any questions on that?
So the ad alternate, the total underneath, well, the ad alternate that's are listed,
$415,000?
and that's in the total, right, John?
That's not in the
That's
total.
not in the total,
No,
that's right, okay,
So-
that's outside
so
it.
if we have a positive bid day and we're $500,000 or so under budget, you can have that choice you can be able to afford these.
Right, I got
these
you,
items.
all right, thank you.
And we're still protecting our contingency wholly.
Yeah.
And you recall, we had some built-in safety valves that we talked about at the last meeting for if the bids come in negatively, we certainly have opportunities that we can use other budget valves if we need to, but we wanna, we wanna be conservative all along, we wanna come in under budget. Fair enough, Joel, anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. Tim, you wanna talk about pre-qual?
Sure, so just big picture, the schedule hasn't changed from what we showed you in June 20th. We've been working on the pre-qualifications of the various contractors. We had a very good response from pretty much all categories except for elevators. Even the GC category, we had a good response, more so than we did even a year ago. So, on our timeline for pre-qualification, we were targeting August 8th to notify contractors, so that's today. With today's approval, we can then get letters out to the various contractors to let them know that bidding documents will be available at the end of the month, and that we would be accepting filed sub-bids a month later, at the end of September, and then mid-October, early to mid-October, looking to get the GC bids in. So this is tracking as we've set it up a while back, and we did go through and distributed all the list of the contractors that you have here, and compiled the end result is this binder full of information on the scoring and how everything went. Very detailed process, and Hank and Diane can attest to the difficult job or just the time-consuming process that it is. But we've gone through and feel really good about the list of firms that we have. Just to, I'm not gonna read through all of them, but for the general contractors, Great Builders Corp., we've worked with them on a number of different projects and everything very successful. Colantonio also got, I haven't worked with them, but we've gotten good reviews from the people, the references that we've contacted about them. Fontaine Brothers, I know that both SMMA and Colliers has worked with Fontaine very successfully. They have a very good reputation. Hutter Construction was a relatively unknown, but all the references were very positive. They're out of New Hampshire, I believe it's New Ipswich, New Hampshire, so geographically it's pretty close. They're maybe one of the closer firms. Just what they haven't done is any of the MSBA school work, but their references were all great, so no reason to disqualify them or not pre-qualify them. WT Rich, they've done a lot of construction management at risk work, but they also bid on general contract work. And again, very positive reviews. They've done similar size projects. They've had quite a range of different projects. And then J&J Contractors, who's been around a while, and they've been in and out of different markets, again, the CM or the GC. But the references that we've gotten and have been very good, and I know that SMMA has worked on a project with them relatively recently and very successfully. So we feel really good about this many GCs showing this kind of interest. And I know that some of these guys are looking for build their work going forward, and with the bidding timeframe that we're going out to bid in November, it's a good time. It's kind of off the beaten path, if you will, so we should have a lot of interest and get some really competitive numbers. I did mention the elevator contractors that we didn't get. We only got one. So we went back out to see if we could get some more. We did not get any more. So that work will now be part of the general contractor's bid.
So, since we're voting today, like what, the list, did it already go into, no, because now when will letters go out tomorrow?
I'll start them, get
So
them
it's
typed
just a
up
matter
tomorrow.
of, for the public, when does this, like, when could it be posted in the paper and when should it be?
Yeah, I'll put it in the,
Because they should be notified first, correct? Or it doesn't matter?
it's public information as of
Okay.
now.
Okay, just curious.
And we'll get the letters out to those, we'll start with the GCs.
Yeah.
And let them know.
So, I make a motion to approve the pre-qualified contractor list for the Templeton Elementary School project.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for all that hard work.
Yeah,
How did you
thanks
done
to
that?
Tim,
You're
seriously.
like a pro at that, aren't you? Why
A lot
not?
of work,
It's a
thank you
team,
so
team
much.
effort.
Doing pre-quals, these guys, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Carter was going to be here. He asked me to bring copies of the schedule he's been working on.
Thank you.
I'll pass them out. And he and I have spoken about things. I can speak generally, but not in detail about this. What he's done, if you recall, is he's overlaid what's happening with the town finances, the audit, the bonding, et cetera, with our schedule. And he has updated it to show how they're tracking together. Does everyone have a copy? So, it's got a lot of the information that Tim talked about, except on the top half of it, it's that town budget activity. So I think the gentlemen who I saw in the room down at the end are probably the auditors.
Yeah,
who
they
are
are.
here working on the
They've been here.
17 audit. That's obviously a big part of what's happening now. They need to complete their audit such that, and to go through the appropriate approval so that we can get the town can get a bond rating and then go out for the bonding. We have tried to mesh the schedules so that the audit and the bond rating and the town's finances are in sync with when these bids are coming in and the amount of time we have so that we can go to contract with a contractor only if and when it's appropriate and the town feels comfortable with its financial situation. So what he highlighted in yellow is what's been completed and what the status is. In item number 2, he shared with me, and you all know better than I do, that everything is on schedule from the town standpoint. In item number 2, as we've talked about, Tim has highlighted, we're on track with everything that's happening here. We're a little bit ahead of schedule in that the design impacts that SMMA came up with and their financial impacts were lesser than we were anticipating, so therefore we were able to make sure that we stayed on schedule that way. But generally speaking, we just remain on track with all of those pieces. The third piece has to do with the off-site activity with police and highway. I don't know that we can give an update on that.
Actually, Wellington Road has been cut in and I did not notice that they paved. I've been driving, well, you would see that,
Yeah, I would see
right? So
that.
they have not paved, but they did
They
do
did
the,
cutouts there.
the initial layout, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had just, and, Alan's been kind of sending me, text messages here and there, this is done, that is done, you know, that kind of stuff. So, it looks nice.
It says right here, according to the schedule, that they're planning on starting that one-way pattern on the 14th.
Yes,
Yep.
Chief's got both 2 signs, 2 electronic signs, on both will be at both sides of the street, one on South, one on Wellington, I guess. And, yeah,
Alan.
everything's going to plan.
He's gonna do it the week before the craft fest.
Yes.
Oh, that ought to be interesting.
I think he
That's a
wa-
heck of a task.
I think
right
he
there.
said,
I don't,
If it passes that test, it'll be,
Pass any, it'll pass any school.
frying pan right into the fire.
You're not kidding, huh? Oh, my God.
We got some details out there on that weekend.
We got the 13th.
So we are in regular communication with the MSBA still to keep them aware of what's happening. And as I said, I think we're all anxious to just get it out to bid, and keep moving, let's see what the market
Yeah, let's
holds.
see what the market's bearing is, right.
Yeah.
the paving will be August 10th. That's what he sent me for a text, sorry. Takes me a little bit here to,
I was filling time, Diana.
you guys are like, boom, 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 boom.
That's why.
It's paving in 2 days.
We're on TV, man, we've gotta keep action going, that's what today is.
Like, sorry, I was looking. That's all on track, though. Okay.
Anything else? Good thing? No?
So the review and the revise the cost estimate, and then there's another couple of, there's a gray X for identify and order. So that would be yellow now, correct? Because that's
That's right.
been complete.
Right,
Okay. Thanks.
that's what he's saying, that those two
Oh, I was
above,
like,
they're,
what is that?
they're kind of
Okay.
unnecessary now.
But they're not, okay.
We've addressed them.
Advertise.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, you have to worry about 2 things, bids and money. You only get 2 minor things left.
That's it.
Minor.
Designer updates?
Real brief. We've been working with the pre-qualification subcommittee, over these last weeks and resolved the final list. We actually had a meeting last Tuesday,
I think so.
Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two, for our final meeting. So that process, as you heard, has gone very well. We're in the process of updating the dates on all the drawings now. We held, the last time we issued them was for the energy code update, so we had all the dated,
Yep.
the drawings dated that date, and so now we're going through all the drawings and updating it for the final August 30th date for bidding. And working with Tim and coordinating with the printer, making sure that they are ready to receive our drawings so they can start printing. That's really it for what we've been doing, looking down the road for bidding. What we'll be receiving any kind of questions from the bidders during the bidding period, and if there's an addendum that needs to be issued, we'll issue that. There will be an addendum issuing the results of the file sub bids, issuing those to the general contractors, and so there will be at least one addendum that would be issued. And with that, we will just be looking for the bids to come in, and we'll come out at the bid opening for the files and assist in the opening and recording of those bids. We should probably get maybe somewhere between 80 and 100 bids for that. And then we'll come out for the opening of the general contractor bids as well.
And when is that scheduled for, the opening of the
The GC bids are October 11th, and the files are September 27th. After we get the GCs in and we know that we're, on track, we should probably, I think in terms of scheduling that last hearing for the tree removal. We had the hearing for the tree removal for the trees along the curve that we were just speaking of for the
They're already
one-way.
done.
Yeah, no, and we did that last year,
Yep.
basically. But we held off on, the final trees that were in front of the school where the off-site parking is. So we'll need to do that. We've been working with Alan on that.
What's that, Tim?
Yeah.
No, I don't,
Well, we didn't really talk about it much, last year, but these are the trees, Joel, that are on the site, the school site.
Yeah.
The front, in the front.
So in front of the
Middle and
building.
front.
Front of the building, the oaks in front of the building.
okay, so we need to get LMAO involved.
Oh, no, we've been talking to Alan,
Oh,
just to schedule
okay.
it. So we were all on board with, doing something in mid-October relative to
The
that.
trees are on the school site now?
Yes.
What,
Okay,
South
sorry.
Road side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
In the
Right in
front.
front of it.
And what about the, removal of the Gladys Salem playground?
That gets relocated as part of the construction package.
Isn't
when?
isn't it all being taken down and stored? I guess I'm asking,
Yeah, that,
when would
By the
that be
GC.
done?
by the contractor, and then.
That would be done.
Yes, and then they'll be
See.
handing over to Alan all of the components to store off-site until it's needed to come back on. As well
And
as there was
Alan's
a.
like fully in the
He's-
loop
he's
with.
over-
Oh, yeah, no, we
All
met with
that
him
and-
last year.
And it's being stored where? Do we?
I am not sure
Okay.
exactly.
Can we, yeah,
Yep.
that's fine, I'll talk to him.
Yep. And there was also a dedication box,
Yeah,
that was buried in
Yeah.
the general vicinity.
Yeah.
That will get turned over to Alan as well.
okay. So that you, okay. Yep, thanks.
I think it's for one of the trailers.
I'm sorry,
One of
John?
the trailers he has, I'm guessing.
I'll talk to him. I just was curious.
Mm.
Okay.
And then when does everything get fenced in?
Oh, that would be.
We'll work that out with the contractor.
before-
We need
yeah.
to get someone under and then we'll work out the
Okay.
schedule with them. It takes them a little bit
Yeah.
to put that all
Okay.
together.
And they wouldn't be able to do any work until they did that, and that's one of the very
Right,
first
right, okay,
activities.
okay.
Okay, anybody got anything else, any new business coming up?
No.
Anything new, anything old,
Any
we
other?
done?
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night.
Tim, can you help me with
What are these?
these?